All right, so continuing on with this mini series of tons of CSS properties, I want to get more into backgrounds here. So, you know, every year I have students who ask, how do I make the background of my page a picture? Now, just because you can make the background of your page a picture, instead of this lovely toothpaste green color here, we can make it a picture. Doesn't mean you should. I don't always know that this looks good, but I'll show you how to do it anyway. All right, so let's find a picture that we want to put for our background. So I'm thinking like clouds. So I'll go to images here, and I'm kind of digging maybe this cloud is kind of cool. So let me click this one. Similar to when we add images, we don't want to use the link from the search tiles. We want to use the link from here. We need the link to this image. So we're going to do a control click on this, copy the image address. So now to change the style here of the background, we'll go into, okay, which thing was this? This was the body. I've done the body twice here. I have it here and here. That's okay, I guess. I'm going to move these up to there actually and delete this one once I'm done. But I'm going to make the background, instead of that green color, I'll make the background a URL. And I'm going to copy and paste in quotes here that URL from here. So to get that URL, you do a control click on here, copy image address, and then control V or command V that over here to paste it. You can tell it's an image because of the .jpeg. Let's see if this works. Whoa, cool. I've got the background there, and maybe it's easier to see like that. All right, neat. Okay, so a couple of options for how this appears. You can make it so that it tiles and stuff like that. You see how like it goes through once here and then it starts to retile it here. Let's see. Let's do a background repeat. And then we could do a background repeat. It looks like we really don't want to repeat probably. So maybe like a background repeat, none, or no repeat. It starts to autocomplete it for me. And all right, let's see how that looks here. Okay, so it kind of cuts off over there. So we need to stretch it out. So maybe a background size auto. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know how this works. But the good thing about programming is I can try it. So body, background size, auto. Let's see if that will... Nope, that does not work. So let me try to switch that. So background size, 100 viewer width, which would be 100% of the viewer's width. All right, here we go. It stretches it out, or it compresses it here. That's cool. And now I'm seeing that even though I have that background up at the top, it kind of doesn't put that background down here. And I actually kind of like the way that looks. But I like the way that looks a lot on the small screen. So instead of no repeat here, we can make it repeat in the Y direction. So Y direction would be up and down axis. So that way, let me show you here. It doesn't repeat, it stops there. If we press run, it can repeat in the Y direction. And that's kind of cool. All right. I dig. That's enough about the background picture. I don't think it looks that great. I think I like the solid color better. You can make anything have a background image. And I said I was going to move this stuff up to be with the other part of the body style. So I'm going to Command X, cut this out, delete the body here, and then move this up here so it's in this body tag, and then do a Command V. I shouldn't change anything, but I like to have all of that in the single body selector, so that it's a little easier for me to read. All right, so related to this, you might want to make the backgrounds of your paragraphs, instead of this one nice color, you might want to make them something called a gradient. So let's try to find a gradient in our reference here. Oh, they don't have a gradient. Okay. Well, maybe that's going to be in a background color type thing. Okay, it's not there. All right, so you know what? I'm just going to go here and I'm going to search for gradient CSS. There we go. CSS gradients using W3 schools because that's the one I'm familiar with. All right, this is going to be really hideous. Oh, or really cool, depending on how you construct this. All right, so I know how these work a little bit. It looks like we have the direction and then the two colors that we want to use. Or we could just put the two colors. So let's do that for the paragraphs here. So for paragraphs, let's also give these a background. Oh, I already gave them a background. Well, I'm going to have to delete that pink. We don't want them to be pink anymore. We want that background to be a gradient. Wait, is that just what it's called? Oh no, it's called, look, I was making a mistake. It's called a linear gradient. So linear gradient. And for the direction, I actually don't like to use to right or to bottom right. I kind of like to use angles. So I'm going to do 100, I'm going to use an angle measurement. So I want to get a nice diagonal gradient. So I'm going to experiment with this number. I'll start maybe with 50 degrees. That seems like a diagonal type number. We need a comma, and then it has red to yellow. But I want to do pink to white, maybe, and then run it. Did it do it? Oh, here we go. I've got the gradient, pink to white there. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right. I like that. It's kind of subtle. You could do a more wild gradient. So let's take our H3 and let's make this one have a background. Oh, it already has the background. So we're just going to change that from yellow. Let's change that to linear gradient. Let's do 0 degrees this time, straight across from yellow to black. Oh, and I left out the semicolon. That's going to mess things up later on. So semicolon, run it again. And there we go. Oh, 0. That's a terrible choice, 0 degrees. Let's make that 90 degrees. I wanted the opposite. Cool, yellow to black. Neat. These gradients are cool. All right, so that is gradients and images for backgrounds. These are dangerous choices, I think. These can really make things not look too good or make things look kind of unreadable. So you have to be really careful with these as you use them. I know that was fast actually in this one, but I'm trying to throw a lot of different properties at you that you can experiment with.